We got tons of new guns this 2024, a lot of which I can say display insane levels of quality. Well, that isn't surprising considering that the firearms market is getting more competitive. So if a manufacturer develops products that don't meet even the bare minimum standards of a decent gun, they will be tossed out, or worse, ridiculed. You know how finicky shooters these days are. But in terms of reliability, certain guns are just undeniable. What's up, everyone? This is your boy Ted from Line45. In this episode, I am going to list the most reliable pistols in the market. This isn't just a rundown of popular handguns. Instead, the ones that I am going to show here are those pistols that can shoot with zero failures, even after extensive torture testing. Before we get underway, please remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons. I know it is a chore. But these simple clicks help my channel immensely. Now, let's return to the video. Smith & Wesson M9 M2.0 Metal. I own multiple M&P pistols from Smith & Wesson, and by all means these guns are crazy accurate and reliable. I got a Shield EZ, an M&P 45 M2.0, and even a PC version of the M&P 9 M2.0, and all of them are just fun to shoot in the range. First of all, I just have to emphasize that I love metal guns. Hey, this is not me saying that I hate polymer pistols. That's not the point here. All I want to say is that metal pistols have a more substantial feel to them. Plus, I can't deny that the added weight helps these guns to become flat shooters. The M&P 9 M2.0 metal of Smith & Wesson in particular uses a 7075 T6 aluminum frame, which is extremely durable, rigid, and lightweight. This material can withstand heavy usage, high temperatures, and even strong impact. Of course, this means that the gun is extremely reliable. Its durability is further enhanced by its tungsten Cerakote coating. It's also less likely to malfunction because of its controllability. I mean, the interchangeable palm swell, inserts, and aggressive texturing on its grip let you hold the gun securely during rapid firing, which of course reduces the chances of malfunctions due to improper grip. This isn't a hammer-fired pistol, though. Nonetheless, I am always taken aback by how good the trigger of the M&P 9 M2.0 metal is. It's not only smooth and crisp, but also offers a consistency that mitigates misfires. And similar to the guns that I listed here, this Smith & Wesson can just feed on any ammo without jams and malfunctions. Glock 17. You might have expected that a Glock is going to appear on this list, and you are right. Glock pistols, as boring as they seem, are still the standard when it comes to reliability. Take the Glock 17 as an example. This full-size pistol has already been used by law enforcement, military, and civilian shooters alike. With a little tweaking, this gun can also be used for competitions. Of course, much of its popularity is because it can shoot whenever you need it. It has already survived multiple torture tests, including being submerged in mud or water. Now, the reliability of the Glock 17 is due to the simplicity of its anatomy. Like, the gun is made of only 33 to 34 parts, allowing it to operate seamlessly. With fewer moving components, the pistol is less likely to fail, and that has been proven from time to time again. Upgrades and repairs are a lot easier too, since it has interchangeable parts, and its aftermarket is just big. Of course, there's always this criticism that Glock 17 and other Glock pistols aren't that ergonomic, that they are too blocky, and that their sights and triggers suck. Well, those are fair objections. However, some of those contentions are just overblown or out of conjecture. I still find the Glock 17 shootable, especially its Gen 5 version, since it has an improved trigger system and grip module. The modern Glock 17 also sports a low-bore axis that reduces its muzzle flip and recoil under rapid fire. Plus, with the availability of multiple backstraps, what's more to complain about? If you want a no-nonsense duty pistol, this gotta be it. Sig Sauer P226. If we are talking about rock-solid pistols, we shouldn't exclude the Sig 226 from the conversation. The gun itself is known for passing multiple military trials. Among them is the XM9 service pistol trials sometime during the 1980s. By all means, the P226 had survived the reliability and accuracy tests conducted by the United States military. While it's true that the Beretta 92 FS got the contract, it's undeniable that the P226 didn't come out as a failure. Proof of that is the P226 is currently being used by letter agencies, such as the SEALs and SAS of the British Army. Well, I can cite multiple reasons why the Sig P226 is durable. First, and the most obvious, is the way this gun is constructed. As you can see, this pistol has a robust construction. It has a slide usually machined from stainless steel, while its frame is from aluminum alloy. The metal construction ensures the gun can withstand abuse without being too heavy. For example, a double-action, single-action Sig P226 only weighs 34 ounces with an empty mag. Second, the P226 has tight tolerances. You may not see this at first, but once you inspect the gun fully, you can see that its parts are fitted perfectly with little to no wiggle room for errors. So every time I shoot the gun, it simply works. No jamming, no feeding issues whatsoever. It's not even picky when it comes to the ammo it uses, from high-performance hollow points to your standard ball ammo. Its extractor is really a hard worker when it comes to ejecting spent casings. Plus, its reliability has a lot to do with its consistent trigger pull and intuitive controls. It's the little details that make the gun extremely solid, especially in high-stress situations. If you haven't used a P226 yet, I suggest you get one and try it on the range. It will definitely impress you. CZ P10F, competition ready. Unless you have been sleeping under the rock, you should already know by now that the CZ P10F already has a competition-ready model, aptly called the P10F Competition Ready. Now, a lot of CZ pistols can fit on this list. I can name CZ75, CZ SP01, and the latest competition guns from the Czech manufacturer, like the Shadow 2 and TS2 Orange. Of course, I can say that all of these guns are equal to the CZ P10F Competition Ready in terms of reliability, but the CZ P10F Competition Ready takes the bag for its overall value, performance, and reputation. So, now you may ask, why is this gun reliable? Well, I can drop multiple reasons. For one, this polymer-framed pistol has a fiber reinforcement that allows it to withstand prolonged use and exposure to harsh elements. Next, there's also its 5-inch cold hammer-forged barrel that stabilizes its shooting performance even after firing hundreds of rounds non-stop. As someone who has wielded this gun, I can attest to its smooth cycling and manageable recoil. Its slide operates seamlessly, which is a feature that I particularly love about this pistol, and the extended slide stop from Apex Tactical ensures its reliable operation, even under intensive use. Moreover, its trigger is made by HB Industries, and for those who don't know, HB Industries is a maker of highly smooth and crisp triggers. The take-up is very minimal, and it always breaks cleanly. So when you fire this CZ P10F, there's always a degree of consistency and almost zero chance of misfires or failures. HK MK23. Similar to CZ, there are tons of good HK pistols that could fit perfectly in this video. The HK USP45T is the most respected among the bunch, while the VP9 is definitely a crowd favorite. But if you want a gun that has survived torture testing, it has to be the MK23. And I mean, is this even a surprise? You see, the MK23 was created by HK for the Special Operations Command, or SOCOM, of the United States. So the way it was developed was to ensure it could surpass stringent testing protocols, because it needs to be battle-ready all the time. And by saying that, I am literally telling you that this gun is capable of functioning after being exposed to sand, salt water, sand, and extreme temperatures. Essentially, the MK23 is built around a fiber-reinforced polymer frame with a corrosion-resistant blued finish. So if it's a polymer gun, it's extremely tough. I could really throw this gun to a concrete wall and expect that it will still function. It also has a one-piece machined steel slide and an O-ring barrel, both of which are durable and rock-solid. Also, part of its over-the-top reliability is its recoil reduction system, which minimizes the wear and tear of its internal components. It feeds on different ammo, even the dirt-cheap ones, and does not miss a single round. Beretta 92FS, Beretta M9. The one that beat the Sig P226 in the military trials should be reliable, right? Fortunately, that has been the case so far. In terms of reliability and longevity, I think we need to give the Beretta 92FS the recognition that it deserves. The pistol's ability to function reliably even when limp-wristed and under high-stress situations is recognized by the entire gun community. Okay, here are some things you need to know to understand how reliable this firearm is. The gun has been tested in adverse conditions, such as being exposed to temperatures ranging from -40 to 140 degrees Fahrenheit or submerged in salt water. Goodness, even despite those exposures, the gun was still able to free 35,000 rounds after experiencing a failure. If that's not reliable, I don't know what is. Again, the Beretta 92FS owes its durability to its solid construction and design. In particular, this full-size gun has a short recoil-delayed locking block design and an open slide design, which, in turn, bolsters its reliability. These features prevent the gun from stovepiping, plus they also ensure smoother cycles and less felt recoil. Moreover, I am a huge fan of its feed ramp, which improves the feeding consistency of the 92FS with different types of ammunition. In a nutshell, the 92FS is a guaranteed workhorse and one that doesn't choose what bullet to shoot. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more gun videos like this, just click the subscribe button and notification bell. Take care and stay safe.